Yes, hello guys, welcome back. I'm Abhilash, your current affairs faculty, Shaheen Group of institutions. I'm dealing with the current affairs. Current affairs is all about knowing the things which are very much prominent in the society since from 6 months, past 6 months. Yeah, past 1 year's current affairs is also very important, but when it comes to the accuracy, when it comes to frequency, the past 6 months current affairs is very, very important. So I'll be discussing with you the very hot topics, the topic of the town, the topic of the news, whatever on the newspaper headline, I'll be discussing with you every day in my classes. So as I have also told you, the current affairs includes so many different areas, so many different subjects. For example, the polity, definitely polity, the subject is so interesting and it is in the news every day. Without politics, without polity, without political science, the society cannot run. In every day, the polity, the knowledge of polity is very much required to the every common citizen of this country. For example, what is election? What is prime minister? What is president? Who is prime minister? Who is president? What is the difference between the prime minister, president? What is election? Why do we need to vote all those people? And what is parliament? Why we have to elect the MLAs? Why we have to elect the MPs? Whether MLAs and MPs are two different subjects or they are the same. So the questions like this from the political system every day haunts us. Every day we are actually asking ourselves so many questions, but we fail to get answers sometimes. So the current affairs is definitely needed, it definitely required to the common citizen of this country. So is with your economy. Economy is also part of your entire current affairs. Economy, we are studying with the GDP, GNP, NNP, how economy works, how the finance works, who is the head of the finance, who takes care of the everyday's expenditure, everyday's revenue of this country, and what is RBI, what is banking system. Every questions, every things can be sorted out in this class. Yes, when it comes to geography, the climate, the mountains, the rivers, the oceans, the countries, capitals, prime ministers of those countries, the president, the relationship between two countries, the relationship between group of countries, all these questions, all these concepts can be cleared on the right in front of my classes. Yes, the similar is with your environment and ecology, day-to-day changes, global warming, the El Nino, La Nina, acid rain, blood rain, all these things can be discussed also. The topics which are in the news right now, right? The similar is with your science and technology, the recent innovations, the achievements of ISRO, the achievements of NASA, the achievements of every Indian science and field technical organizations. So all these things can also be discussed in my classes. Similarly, the topics related with the schemes and programs by the government of India and government of respective states. For example, the schemes like Jan Dhan Yojana, the schemes like Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, the schemes like Nirbhaya scheme, all these schemes are presently in hot news. They are topic of the town, but the people in fact don't know what exactly the Jan Dhan Yojana, what exactly the Nirbhaya, what exactly Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, and so on. Krishi Sinchai, PM Awas Yojana, all these things. Remember one thing, the schemes which is related to central government, the scheme and programs by the central governments are very, very important. Expect at least 2 to 3 questions in your question paper when you are writing, whenever you are writing the competitive exams. Yes, the schemes also we will discuss. Same is with the person in news, the books in news, the awards, the functions, the events, the international organizations, all these things can be discussed very crystal clearly without keeping any doubt in the mind. You just enjoy my classes because I'll be bringing the best, the most, the hottest topic of the town. Yes, so as I told you, I'm bringing the interesting topics. My today's topic will be related with the election. why it is related with election and why I have chosen election as the today's topic, why I have chosen election as the current affairs. Yes, obviously, recently we have witnessed the Maharashtra government election, and we also have witnessed the election of Jharkhand. We also are witnessing so many upcoming elections nowadays. Now, yes, so there is a question whether the election is going properly. There are so many doubts in the minds of the people with respect to the process of the election, the instruments which are using for the elections. For example, electronic voting machine. For example, VVPAT. For example, why Election Commission of India is not focusing much on changing the process of electronic voting machine, even when the people have so many doubts or the controversy which is going around in the town that the EVM machine can be hacked, EVM machine can be tampered, EVM machine can be misused, but still Election Commission of India and Supreme Court is not bothered about these kind of nuisance, noises and questions at all. Why? Because I'll definitely tell you what is the purpose of the bringing electronic voting machine in the political system. What is the importance of electronic voting machine? Is electronic voting machine is just a machine or it is beyond the machine? So we will be discussing in this class. Yes, so I have brought a very interesting topic today for you as a part of current affairs. So I have the PPT as well as the PDF form. I'll be sharing this in the YouTube for you, so you can download it. So we will discuss what is EVM and VVPAT. As I told you, it can be clearly seen. EVM is your electronic voting machine, but remember one thing, while you are writing the exam, out of tension, out of your curiosity, out of your excitement, there can be chance of you marking it wrong. Electronic voting machine, election voting machine, election voting mandate memorandum, whatever the election, if it is related with election, you may get confused with the E as election, but it is electronic voting machine or election voting machine. Chances of you getting confused whenever you are in a hurry, excited, or you are in the excitement. So be very clear, be very slow, understand it very crystal clearly while writing the exams. So EVM is, now it seems very easy. Yes, electronic voting machine, when we are pronouncing it seems very easy. But when it comes to exam, when it comes to the tension, we all do the mistakes. We all do the silly mistakes. Yes, that is the reason why I'm telling you once again. Electronic voting machine and VVPAT. VVPAT is nothing but voter verifiable paper audit trail records. Yes. So I'll tell you what it actually is and how it works. So when it briefly, when we are coming, why the electronic voting machine is in news nowadays. So ADR versus Supreme Court, ADR versus Election Commission of India. In this case, the Supreme Court gave a judgment that nobody can misuse and you cannot tamper the EVM, nobody can misuse the EVM, and there cannot be replacement of EVMs. Because EVM is proved that it is pure, it is good, technically perfect, and nobody can hack it, nobody can harm it, harm in the sense you cannot misuse it. Yes, the malpractices what we think with when it comes to EVM, those malpractices or misuse cannot happen. You cannot do with the electronic voting machine. So electronic voting machine is very clear, very perfect, and use of electronic voting machine is 100% good sign for the political system. So Supreme Court's declaration is nobody can change, nobody can replace the use of EVM, and nobody can question the results of EVM. Is that clear? That is what it is in the news. And when it comes to the history, the journey of EVM, when it comes to the history of EVM, history is very clear. History is very clear that when it comes to electronic voting machine, we all think that it is a recent innovation, it is a modern development, it has been introduced in this system since from past 5 year or 10 year, but not. Usually, we usually think that the EVM is an innovation, EVM is introduced in the mainstream area since from past 10 years, but believe me, EVM also has its a very long history. Since from 82, the use of EVM was very prominent, and in India, the first time EVM was introduced in the Kerala by-election. It was introduced as a trial and error thing, whereas it got success. Election Commission of India got the proof that yes, use of electronic voting machine can be very pure, very prominent, it can work very perfectly, no doubt in that. So in the year 1982, the first time in India, the electronic voting machines were used, and it got succeeded. Thereafter, in the year 1989, RPA Act 1951, Representation of People Act 1951, it gave a clarity to use the electronic voting machine in further elections. So first it was a trial, later the RPA Act amended the use of EVM in every upcoming elections. And thereafter in the year 2004, it was also given a permission to use the EVM in all the major elections. For example, in general election, Lok Sabha election and Rajya Sabha elections also. So in these type of elections were being conducted based on the EVM. EVMs were used. Similar is with your 2013, the Supreme Court mandated VVPAT use in Subramaniam Swamy case. Here Subramaniam Swamy versus the Election Commission of India. In this case, the use of VVPAT, voter verifiable paper audit trail records, that is a machine which we have to use along with the EVM. That was asked, and later it was made a mandatory that use of VVPAT is also necessary. When you are using EVM, the VVPAT should also be used along with that. Yes, VVPAT, I'll explain it very crystal clearly along with the explanation, right? Then in the year 2019, after 2013, in the year 2019, the Chandrababu Naidu versus Union of India, they have questioned use of one EVM or use of one VVPAT cannot be justifiable or cannot work in a proper way. The frequency may not be that proper. So use of EVMs, more machines for one constituency was questioned. Here the use of, for every constituency the 5 EVMs per assembly constituency is given permission. Yes, one constituency should have at least 5 EVMs along with the VVPAT was asked, and that was given a permission. Thereafter in the year 2014, that is what the case we were discussing in the 2014, why the EVM is in use, only because of this reason. Because the ADR wanted to question whether the result of the EVM is fake, it is giving false news or false results, or it can be malpracticed, it can be misused, it can be tampered, it can be hacked. All these questions were being asked by the ADR, and right on the spot Supreme Court declared it as a null and void. Supreme Court right on their face, right on the spot, told them that the doubt whatever you have in your mind is purely null and void. So nobody can question the integrity. Nobody can question the integrity of the electronic voting machine. So here we have some of the brief points where for the exams point of view, few of your facts, few of your knowledge can be seen in your question paper in upcoming CUET exam. Electronic voting machine is a portable microcontroller based instrument designed to modernize the election process. Very easy. It is a portable microcontroller based instrument. It can be taken, it can be traveled, it can take along with you wherever you want. But the earlier process, the paper ballot, the boxes, the heavy products cannot be transported very easily. But whereas the machine which is very small in size and has so much information in it, can be carried very easily. It can save time, energy, and the frequency of the Election Commission of India. Yes, that is what it is, portable microcontroller. It is manufactured and supplied. Yes, very important. It is manufactured by the BEL, Bharat Electronics Limited, under the control of two ministries. One is the Ministry of Defense and the Ministry of Atomic Energy. Two ministries are checking whether the technology used in EVM is proper or not, whether they are using it in a proper way, what the people are expecting, what the common citizen of this country is expecting the EVM to be. So if it is working in that proper fashion or not. So these two ministries are checking, are observing, are researching the machine. Yes, but it is manufactured by the Bharat Electronics Limited. So believe me, the question of this area, the possibility is more. The chance of asking questions like this are more. So believe me, try to remember the facts whenever you feel the things are involved with the government of India. Whenever the thing prepared or manufactured by the organization which is purely a part of government, then there can be a possibility of asking question on such areas. So BEL is a part, it is a central government unit, it is a public sector unit. So the question may ask on this area, right? So here it consists of three units. One is ballot unit, control unit, and VVPAT. Ballot unit is all about, see, when we are pressing the button, that machine is called as ballot unit. What we actually call it as a electronic voting machine. That machine which we have buttons, which we have a name of the candidate who is contesting the election and the symbol of the party. Yes, so all these things can be seen and you are pressing that button. That small machine is called as ballot unit. The control unit is main controlling unit, the process. The entire process is conducted by that machine. That machine is under the control of that supervising officer. We also call him as a presiding officer. Yes, the third unit is called as VVPAT. As I told you, I will explain about the VVPAT. Now it's time. VVPAT, voters, verifiable, paper, audit, trial records. Okay, so whenever you are going to cast the vote in the polling booth, you can see the box like this has been made where whomever vote you are casting to cannot be seen. Nobody can see it. It cannot be visible to the other parties, other citizens. So right before that, just before that machine, we can see the another machine where we can witness the paper, where we can witness the receipt, the slip, which is coming out, and it can show the symbol of the candidate, the name of the candidate, and the photo of the candidate, and we can visible it for a few seconds, and then it falls down in the same box. You cannot take that back. We can look at the slip through the glass. That is the proof that that is a proof that I have casted a vote to that particular person. So I got confirmation that yes, my vote is directly going to the same person without any doubt. So that is the clarification. VVPAT gives you clarification that yes, the machine is working properly. Yes, VVPAT here, it allows the voters to verify that their voters are cast as intended. My intention is to cast a person and it is working in a proper way. Yes. Then when a vote is cast, a slip is printed containing the serial number, name, and symbol of the candidate. So believe me, this is very important. The slip is printed. Slip consists of serial number of that candidate, the name of that candidate who is contesting the election, and the symbol of the candidate or respective parties. Then the slip is visible through a transparent window for 7 seconds. The slip is visible for 7 seconds. This is also very important. This part and this part is very, very important. Before it automatically cuts and drops into a sealed box. As I told you, it drops into the same box and you cannot take that slip back. That is just a proof that the machine is working properly and no need to worry. The transparency, the accountability works here. The VVPAT is a sign that the transparency and accountability is our first more priority. Is said by the Election Commission of India. Election Commission of India and Supreme Court are the most powerful organization of this country. Most powerful organs. Believe me, whatever they are doing, they will be doing for the betterment of this country, betterment of this citizen, of betterment of the common people of this country. Keeping in mind, the Supreme Court always works for the favor of citizens. So how can you think that use of EVM is not good for this system? No, nobody can blame the use of electronic voting machine. Yes, it is a common tendency of every Indians. Whenever we experience a failure, whenever we experience a bad result, we in fact blame the tools. If we get fail in the exam, we usually blame our books, we usually blame our pen. The pen is not running smoothly, the book was not properly, I didn't get a proper books, the book has mentioned very wrong information, I have written whatever there is in the book but still I didn't get the marks. All these rubbish things. So we usually blame the tools, or we usually blame the others for the failure of whatever we have done. So same is going with the election also. Whenever the candidates gets a bad result or he feels his result is not up to the mark, then he starts blaming the machine. I'm not taking any party's side, but it is the tendency of every Indian and every candidate who is contesting the election in this country. So believe me, use of election, use of electronic voting machine approved by the Election Commission of India under the observation of Supreme Court is very pure, ethical, logical, and working in a transparent way, accountability and justifiable manner. So here the topic of EVM and VVPAT, I'm just winding it up very shortly, because whatever the knowledge, whatever the information I can give you based on the EVM, I have tried giving you on the single slide, single class. So even if the questions or even if the topic related to EVM, if it is still coming in the current news or it is in the hot topic, so I'll be bringing you the information now and then. So the learning process must go on, the collecting the information must go on. So we should not stop learning about anything. Knowledge about everything should be our first priority when we are writing for the competitive exams. So guys, I'm winding up the class for the day. I hope the VVPAT and EVM class is very much enjoyable, very much useful. So believe me, I'll bring the more interesting topic in my next class. Till then, goodbye.